Who is the biggest threat? And it's the two people. Who's the biggest threat to Bumstead and Ramy this year?
Who is the biggest threat of Ramy and Bumstead? Well, just we talking about Ramy, okay? Who is the biggest threat for Big Ramy? What's up guys, back again with me. What I'm talking about? What's up guys, back again with me in my YouTube channel, Joan Bodybuilder podcast session. So today, we're gonna talk about who is the biggest threat for Big Ramy this year, Mr. Olympia 2023. 2022 or 2023, we're gonna talk and discussion and see what's the old school bodybuilder. Okay, the old school bodybuilder, for mostly, not all of them, but the mostly, like Bill Williams, John Pierre Fuchs, and who is that? I'm forget it. Ian Harrison. Oh my goodness, I'm really forget about him. Ian Harrison. So before we go jump up into it, please click the button, ring that bell, and let's go guys. We're talking together and discuss together.
Who do you guys think?
Well, if Ramy comes in 100%, I don't think there is a threat.
No?
I don't think so.
Really? You think so, Phil? I don't think so, to be honest.
Well, which he only did twice in his life, so, you know. so we'll see, you know, but... well, and then in his defense, he won without being very great last time. Mm-hmm. So now, I saw, especially in Boston, that Bonak has a pretty bad hernia, and I think he's fixing that right now. Mm-hmm. So I hope this is going to go back to normal in this short, you know, there's not a lot of time afterwards, yeah? And what often happens if you come back too early, we saw that with Phil, you know, it just opens up again. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's not going to compete in this Olympia.
I think Jean-Pierre Fuchs is really, to be honest, in here. He said Big Ramy just won twice and just doing twice for winning the Olympia. So I don't think Ramy is necessarily unbeatable, right? Because yeah, I still have, in my opinion, there are some guy really can be the biggest threat for Ramy. We still have Brandon, we still have Hadi, we still have, you know, the newcomers bodybuilder right now, Nick Walker, Hunter Labrada, Ian Valier. I think Ramy it's not really necessarily unbeatable. But do you guys really think William Bonek is getting hernia when he was doing Boston last show he was doing? Man, I'm really no right now. Okay, I don't even know about that before. So it's that real what John Pierre Fuchs said?
Because in Boston it was even more visible than the week before that he has a hernia. But he did mention on stage that he has to fix something. I think that's what he was talking about. So him with flat stomach, I think, would be the biggest threat. You know, I mean, we'll see what Nick does this year. You know, but you know. And then is there still Hardy? So it's just the usual names. I think.
So basically, Jean-Pierre Fuchs is really agree with me. We still have, you know, Bonek. We still have Hardy. We still have Ian Valier, Nick Walker. He said the same thing like me. So I don't think Ramy cannot get beat by any competitors. But let's see for Mr. Olympia this year. Let's see.
Do you think Brandon will ever get his title back?
Brandon can never ever beat Ramy. You know, it's just not. I mean, except Ramy is totally off, of course. You know, I mean, Brandon is good, but those weak parts will never ever come up, and it's different.
What do you mean about will never ever? What do you mean, GP?
It is a very leg dominated, you know, today's bodybuilding. You know, it's just like compare that even with the 90s, you know, I mean, it is questionable what looks better. I mean, I still think that the 60s and the 90s, 80s looked way better with the smaller legs. But now, I mean, even when you go to a local show, I mean, those guys have legs. It's just not normal. And
Not normal? Well, I don't disagree with you, GP. I think right now bodybuilder with the leg dominant, it's really more beauty, more symmetry than I thought before. Okay, I don't think in the 17s or 18s bodybuilder it's really symmetry. It's not really balanced with upper body and lower body. You have really beautiful lats. You have a really, the thickness back another level, or maybe with the V taper, with the small waist ratio. But the legs, it seems like a rotan, wood, just vertical. It's not really symmetry. It's small. It's really small. Not really balanced with upper body and lower body. If you're talking about old school bodybuilders in the 70s and 80s, I don't really agree with, modern bodybuilder right now is really weak. Old school bodybuilder is really weak, JP.
Anybody else got an opinion?
I think if Brandon came in like dry as a bone and sliced, I think he could have a chance. I mean, I think Ramy's legs are too big. I think they spoil his symmetry. I mean, he's not a very balanced, he's not a very symmetrical aesthetic bodybuilder anyway. He's a lump of muscle, but I think his legs literally are too big.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But, for as big as he is, his midsection is really good, actually.
No, I don't think. I mean, he's blocky, but look at the size of the guy. I mean, but like you, I think I prefer Brandon's shape. I prefer how he's put together. But I understand what you're saying. His legs do look weak when they're stood next to Ramy. I don't think they are weak. I just think they're not as ridiculous as Ramy's are.
Yeah, you can be one, but you're having to follow the 1B. Because 1A is just so over dominant, you just nothing you can do. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Ramy legs it's really big, but I don't think it's really not symmetrical. Ramy leg it's still symmetrical. You can see the X frame on him. His waist for his size is really not big. The lats, the waist, the shoulder is really V taper. Plus Ramy can add more size on his leg, and it seems like X prime, and it's really awesome physique. That's the perfect physique for a giant like a Ramy, I think. But yeah, if you compare Brandon legs, I think Brandon leg it's not really weak. It's just not really overpowering if you really compare with Ramy. So yeah, I can agree with all of them for this point. But I don't really agree about Ramy.
And Brandon, Bonek did get kind of his legs back, so gotta have to credit him on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've never seen a bodybuilder with an ass as big as Bonek.
Well, he's 3 foot tall. Don't forget that guy.
His glutes are ridiculously big. He's like a horse, man. Yeah. He literally looks like a horse's leg from the side. It looks like somebody's standing behind him.
Yeah. How tall is he, Bonek? Do you know?
Looks like 5'4", maybe. I don't know.
Well, I would say he's probably about 5'6". He just looks so short compared to the other guys.
5'5".
And unfortunately, is he 5'5"?
5'5", 5'6", in that ballpark, I believe.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
the bigger he gets, he doesn't need to do that. He looks blockier.
Yeah.
Bonek, back, double bicep, and lower body, it's really untouchable. It's really unbeatable. I mean, like the hamstring and gluteus on point. And the back also on point. Don't get me wrong about the lats, the lower lats. It's really, meat on point. Strong back double bicep. I think the best back double bicep right now, William Bonek, we can say. And in my opinion also for right now in this era. So now you're having guys about old school bodybuilder give Hannah's opinion to Brandon Curry, Big Ramy, Bonek, and their opinion about the biggest threat. Who can be the biggest threat for Big Ramy? So if you really love this content and video, I'm gonna bring more anything that we can talk and discuss in the whole topic of bodybuilding and fitness. Thank you guys. I'm your host Joan Segala, sending out. May God bless you all.